In the world of sports and fashion, few names carry the same weight as Nike. The swoosh, which is the word resembled by its logo, represents more than it shows. It represents an empire, a status symbol, and embodiment of success. Today, athletes, celebrities, and everyday people proudly wear the brand, believing in its promise of excellence, determination, and victory. First, we'll see how Nike originated and then adverse and detrimental impacts that Nike industry has faced as they poorly approach certain decisions in the real world. From its humble beginnings in 1964 as Blue Ribbon Sports to becoming a $190 billion global giant, Nike has reshaped the sneaker industry, revolutionized marketing, and cemented itself as a cultural force. It doesn't just sell shoes, it sells aspiration. It sells the idea that anyone, regardless of background, can rise to greatness. But behind the polished advertising, the inspirational slogans, and the billion-dollar endorsements, there's another reality, one Nike would rather you not think about. A reality built on sweatshops, human rights abuses, environmental destruction, and a level of corporate control that extends far beyond what most people realize. The dark truth about Nike begins in the factories where its products are made. Unlike some brands that own their production facilities, Nike follows a different model. It contracts out its manufacturing to independent suppliers, primarily in countries like China, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Cambodia. This strategy allows Nike to maximize profit while avoiding direct accountability for working conditions. In the 1990s, reports began surfacing about the brutal realities inside Nike's factories. Investigations uncovered workers enduring 70-hour weeks for poverty-level wages, verbal and physical abuse from supervisors, and conditions so harsh that some collapsed from exhaustion. In Vietnam, workers were forced to inhale toxic fumes from glue and chemicals without proper protection. In Indonesia, factory employees reported being physically beaten if they failed to meet quotas. The public was outraged. Nike's name became synonymous with sweatshops. Under mounting pressure, the company pledged to clean up its act. It implemented corporate social responsibility initiatives, introduced monitoring programs, and even increased wages in some regions. For a while, it seemed like Nike had turned a corner. But the truth is, these changes were more about public relations than genuine reform. Despite the promises, reports of worker mistreatment never stopped. In 2011, a scandal erupted when Indonesian Nike workers revealed that they were being paid as little as 50 cents an hour, far below the living wage. In 2017, a massive protest broke out in Cambodia, where Nike factory workers demanded higher wages and better conditions. The response? Police fired rubber bullets into the crowd, injuring dozens. And then there's China. Nike, like many Western corporations, relies heavily on Chinese manufacturing. But with that comes a disturbing reality: the forced labor of Uyghur Muslims. Reports have emerged linking Nike's supply chain to Uyghur forced labor camps in the Xinjiang region. Uyghurs, a persecuted ethnic minority, have been forcibly detained, subjected to re-education programs, and forced to work under inhumane conditions. While Nike has publicly denied any direct involvement, supply chain audits have found troubling links between its factories and these human rights abuses. Yet Nike's controversies don't stop at labor. The brand has also been accused of harming the very communities it claims to empower. The rise of sneaker culture, fueled in large part by Nike's aggressive marketing, has led to a dangerous trend: violence over shoes. The brand's high demand, limited release strategy, which artificially inflates scarcity, has led to thefts, stabbings, and even murders over Nike sneakers. In 2012, 22-year-old Joshua Woods was shot and killed in Houston over a pair of Air Jordans. In 2015, 14-year-old Sincere Smith was murdered for his Nikes. Nike's response? Silence. Because, ultimately, this hype culture benefits the brand. By making sneakers a status symbol, Nike keeps demand sky high, ensuring every new drop sells out in minutes. Beyond violence, Nike's business model also contributes to the global waste crisis. Every year, millions of sneakers are discarded, ending up in landfills where they take decades to break down. Despite its Move to Zero sustainability campaign, which claims to work toward carbon neutrality, Nike remains one of the world's biggest polluters in the fashion industry. The production of its synthetic materials releases massive amounts of carbon dioxide, and its supply chain is still heavily reliant on fossil fuels. Even more ironic is Nike's history with social justice. The brand has built an identity around activism, aligning itself with movements like Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ+ rights. The 2018 ad campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick, who was blacklisted from the NFL for kneeling during the national anthem, positioned Nike as a progressive, socially conscious company. The message? Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. Yet, Nike's supposed activism doesn't align with its actions. While it profits from its image as a champion of equality, it continues to exploit workers in developing countries, many of whom face the same systemic oppression it claims to oppose. When asked about factory conditions, Nike executives deflect, minimize, and shift blame. The brand speaks about justice, but only when it's profitable. Nike's influence extends beyond products and politics. It has also transformed the very nature of sports. Through billion-dollar endorsements, Nike has turned athletes into marketing machines, controlling their image, their words, even their careers. Contracts with the company often include strict clauses preventing athletes from wearing or promoting competing brands, effectively locking them into lifelong loyalty. In some cases, Nike has even pressured teams and schools into dropping rival brands altogether, ensuring total dominance over the industry. The company's control over sports is so vast that it even affects the Olympics. Nike's sponsorship deals give it unprecedented leverage, allowing it to dictate everything from uniform designs to what athletes can say in press conferences. In 2019, American sprinter Allyson Felix exposed Nike's hypocrisy when she revealed that the company slashed her sponsorship payments after she became pregnant. Despite publicly supporting female athletes, Nike penalized one of its most successful Olympians simply for choosing motherhood. Nike's grip on sports doesn't just extend to athletes and teams, it reaches deep into the very institutions that govern them. The NCAA, FIFA, and even the NBA have all been influenced by Nike's financial power. College programs that sign exclusive Nike deals find themselves at the mercy of the brand, with coaches pressured to push Nike-sponsored athletes into the spotlight. In soccer, Nike's dominance has led to accusations that the brand wields disproportionate influence over FIFA's marketing decisions and even team selections. This isn't just sponsorship, it's control. And when a company has the power to shape entire leagues, the line between business and sport begins to blur. Beyond the playing field, Nike has also cemented itself in the digital landscape, using algorithms, data tracking, and social media influence to maintain its stronghold. Through platforms like the SNKRS app, Nike has created a system where demand is artificially inflated, pushing consumers into frenzied bidding wars for limited edition shoes. This system not only increases hype but also allows Nike to collect and analyze vast amounts of user data, predicting trends before they even happen. The company's influence over sneaker culture is no longer just about marketing, it's about psychological manipulation, controlling not just what people buy but how they think and behave. Even more chilling is the way Nike manipulates consumer behavior. The brand invests billions into psychological marketing, carefully crafting ads that trigger deep emotional responses. Studies have shown that Nike's advertising strategies tap into primal human instincts, desire, competition, and tribalism, ensuring brand loyalty is as strong as a religious following. This isn't accidental. Nike has perfected the art of storytelling, creating a world where the brand is more than just a company, it's a way of life.